Hi all, Aditya here from JL Softech. In this session, we are going to discuss the FICO overview, and in which we are going to see what exactly are the different topics that we are going to cover in FICO. And in the first class, we basically discussed more about ERP concept and what exactly is SAP. As we discussed, ERP is a concept, enterprise resource planning, and we also discussed about the SAP. SAP is actually a company which deals with enterprise solutions. Now here in SAP FICO, SAP means systems, applications and products in data processing, and FICO means finance and controlling. Now this is an ERP solution given by SAP. The ECC 6.0 is the latest version that we have. So FI overview. So in the FI we have various subtopics in which we have GL, AR, AP, special ledger, controlling and asset management. As I already discussed, controlling comes as a separate module which will be handled separately, and this is all about FI. So GL means general ledger, AP means accounts payable, AR stands for accounts receivable, and AA is for asset accounting, and SL is special ledger. GL is any transactions that happen will be maintained in general ledger. Other than general ledger, we will also have sub ledgers which we are going to maintain, and there are couple of transactions. So if there is an accounts payable transaction that happens, it's a sub ledger, and if it's an accounts receivable document is created, it's also sub ledger. But the actual general ledger is something which which will be visible in the external reporting. So anything which you want it to be visible in the external reporting have to be uploaded as a GL. Okay. Now asset accounting handles all the assets of a company. So we need to calculate all the depreciations of various products that we normally have. For example, a software company has lot of laptops or desktops for which the asset value will be reduced going forward next year. So we have to calculate the depreciation and maintain that in the asset accounting. And we have something called special ledger which deals with the different types of transactions which we are going to discuss in the coming classes. Now here, financial accounting is basically used for external reporting, GL reporting, legal or external reporting. So all reports that we generate for legal purpose are FI related, finance. Okay, controlling is internal, purely internal, that I already discussed. So legal or external reporting, balance sheet, income statement, statements of financial position, all these are generated at the financial accounting level. As we already discussed initially, basically financial accounting deals with external accounting, in which we have financial position, profit and loss and balance sheet. These are being shared. We need to share these things with the bankers or lenders who have lended the money to us, for external auditors who audit our company, and SEC for senior executive committee, and we have IRS or taxing committee, taxing authorities. So for those people also we have to maintain the documents and then clear it. And stockholders, okay, whoever has invested amount in our company, for those people also we can. So we have CO EC overview, we have cost center accounting, cost tracking, internal orders, small projects, and projects PS, large projects, product costing, activity based costings, profitability analysis, profit center accounting, and the executive info system. All this comes under the controlling part. So internally, if you see in general, controlling deals with internal management reporting or internal reporting by cost centers or other cost objects and cost elements. Cost centers, orders and projects, budget plan, actual versus the plan. These are all maintained in the controlling level. And the internal accounting, we have controllers, we have senior management, we have department managers, and we have executives. So all these are the people who actually go ahead with the internal accounting. And FI deals with the external accounting, that is legal or external reporting, reports by account, balance sheet, income sheet and all. And controlling is internal management reporting, reports by cost centers and cost elements, cost center reports. FICO organizational structure, this is a basic organizational structure. Normally we have to configure all these things initially. Before we configure anything, we have to configure all these things in the system. When a company purchases SAP software, SAP ECC software, ERP software, in which these are the basic things that we have to maintain first. And FI configuration is the heart of the entire company. Means only after the FI configuration is done, we can go ahead and further do the configurations for any other department like MM or SD or HR. All these are things later. First we have to do the configuration of FI. Now in this we have client, company, chart of accounts, company code, business area, credit control area and controlling area. So these are the client is the highest level of hierarchy, which is like, if let's say I have taken the example of BMW, if normally we say who is your client, BMW is our client. Okay. Now company, what is company is? A company is something which is like BMW International, which is a registered company or global company. It's a group. A group is called a company, and the consolidated financial statements are created at the company level. Okay. Now what is company code? Okay, basically we in SAP FICO we maintain company code. Company code is like BMW India. If BMW International is a group, then BMW India is company code. We can generate the legal reports at the company code level. And we have to maintain chart of accounts for every company, and it is mandatory for us to maintain a chart of accounts for every company. That's very mandatory. And we have something called and what is chart of accounts? Listing of accounts. A chart of accounts must be assigned to every company code. Several company codes can use the same chart of accounts, but we cannot maintain two or multiple chart of accounts for the same company. Now we are taking the example here. We are considering US chart of accounts as one particular chart of accounts and German chart of accounts, because we have different rules and regulations for Germany and we have different rules and regulations for US. So obviously we have to maintain two different chart of accounts, and we will assign that to company codes which are related to US accounting. So company code 1000, 2000, 3000 are in US, so they follow the US chart of accounts, and the company codes 4000 and 5000 are in Germany, so they maintain the German chart of accounts. So what's a company code? A required structure, a legally independent entity, the smallest ordination unit for which accounting can be carried out. The level where business transactions are processed, the level where accounts are managed, the level where legal individual financial statements such as balance sheet and profit and loss statements are created at the company code level. So legal entity is company code. So for a company code, we maintain the chart of accounts and we also maintain a credit control area. So what is a credit control area? Organizational unit or area of responsibility created to control customer credit limits, and this is basically mandatory for us to do the sales configurations. If you don't do this credit control area, if you don't assign the credit control area, we cannot create records or accounts in the sales and distribution module. Okay, this is a mandatory step for SD people to do the configurations later. So whatever configurations we do in the FI part will be affecting the other modules directly. Now controlling area, an organizational unit defining the company's cost managerial accounting operations. A company code is assigned to one and only one controlling area. Okay, and controlling area can have multiple company codes. So a single controlling area can be assigned to multiple company codes, but an individual company will have company code will always have a single controlling area. I'm going to tell you very detailedly what is controlling area, what is cost center, all these things I'm going to tell you very clearly. So fiscal year variant is also something which actually deals with the financial year in which we are doing, and what is the format of our financial year. For example, in India, for external reporting, for financial reporting, we normally follow the fiscal year as April to March. So when we use that financial year, for that we have to assign a financial variant. That's called fiscal year variant. Okay, and we will also have posting period variant. There are a lot of other things that we are going to discuss in the basic configurations. So basic configurations will start first, and then we'll go ahead with the individual specific to AP, AR, what are the configurations are there. We're going to do that later point of time. So here we have SAP FICO basic configurations. Here we have 21 steps, mandatory steps that we need to do in the first SAP FICO configurations, and we are going to have different transaction codes for all these basic steps. Okay, so creation of company, as we discussed, we have to create a company, we have to create a company code. You can have multiple company codes, but initially we'll create at least one company code, and then we have to assign the company code to company. And business area, we need to create the business area, which is not a mandatory step, we can do that. Define chart of accounts, assign company code to chart of accounts, define account groups, define retained earnings, define fiscal year variant, assign company code to fiscal year variant. If you observe account groups, we are not assigning to company code. Account groups, we are going to directly assign it to chart of accounts. In the same transaction itself, we are going to directly assign it to the chart of accounts. Retained earnings, company code to fiscal year variant. We have posting period variant, variant to company code, open and close posting period variants. What are posting period variants is all those months in which you can do the modifications or do the entries. For example, if I open the posting period for July, August, September, you can create a record or you can create an entry only in that 3 months. You cannot create an entry in the other months, because I have opened only that 3 months. Okay, so we're going to discuss that in detail. And field status variant, wherein we will decide what are the fields that should appear on the screen. Company code to fiscal year field status variant is what we have to assign, and then we have to create document types, the various document types, and these document types are very much helpful when we are creating GL accounts. Number ranges for documents, tolerance groups for employees, tax procedures, calculation procedures, country to calculation procedures, and global parameters. These are the things which we have in the basic configurations. So we are going to do all these things on the system and just then go ahead with the remaining thing. So we are going to discuss every step in 2 ways. One is through the transaction and one is through accessing the path. So for example, I would like to tell you this. For example, for creation of a company, we can directly go into OX15 transaction, or we can go through a path. So I'll just log in into the system and then show you this. Now I went into SPRO, SAP IMG reference, and then we have financial accounting. First we need to go into enterprise structure, because we need to create the company for definition, and in this we have financial accounting and define company. This is path. Okay, so we went into SPRO, and in the SPRO we went into enterprise structure. In the enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, and define company. This is what we have in the define company. But when it comes to transaction code, directly you can come to the same screen using OX15 transaction. I just type OX15 here, and that the same screen appears here. So we have path and we also have transaction codes directly. But when it comes to, as I was discussing about the segment, if I go for segment, for creation of segment there is no transaction code. This is the latest one which is included, so we don't have a transaction code for that. But when you want to just create a something like company code, if you want to edit, copy, delete. Okay, if I click on this, you will get the screen here. You will get this screen. The same screen can also be accessed through OX02 transaction. OX02 transaction, we can access the same thing. Right. So in this way we are going to do all the steps. We'll have various transaction codes, but going forward, when we are doing that step, automatically those transactions will be remembered by you, because we will regularly use those things. Automatically you can remember a couple of things, but if you by heart, it will be more better actually. We need not by heart all the transaction codes, we can by heart only couple of transaction codes.